Hey Hodies, welcome to my channel. My name is hautemesstom. If you are new here, my channel is all about loving my makeup collection as it currently is, and I do have a budget. If you are interested in my rules for the budget, I'm going to refer you to the budget playlist. The first video of this year details how I'm utilizing my budget and how it works if you are curious about it. So if the kind of content of where you see the person using a lot of the same stuff over and over again is something that you're interested in, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video before you leave it. Thank you to all of my lovely, beautiful patrons. If you would like to be a patron and support this channel, there's a link down below. No pressure, I'm just so happy that you're here. Let's do a quick rundown of where we're at, what's going on. You may recall I went a little in the red last month, and I'm sad to report that it has happened again. I didn't mean to, okay? But it just kind of happened. It just kind of happened. It was something I need to repurchase, and I don't count repurchasing against my budget, only new things that I've never tried before. For example, I use MAC Fix Plus as my setting spray. If I were to buy a new Fix Plus, then I don't need to put that on my budget, but I'm not re-upping on things very often. So I needed a new eyeshadow primer. That put me over budget because the brand that I was buying eyeshadow primer from is no more. That's kind of what set me over the edge, so spoiler alert. I started this month with $85.48 because I had to borrow. I bought 3 items, and I did have a couple of sales that I ended up utilizing. I bought the Kora Weiss Inner Glow Blush for $42. I don't know if tax was included in that because I remember looking at my purchase and it was just $42. There wasn't tax. So that was interesting. I bought one of those Charlotte Tilbury hypnotizing eye pops this month. We'll talk about the pricing of that in a second. And then I also bought the Too Faced eyeshadow insurance. Those are the 3 things that I bought this month. Before I review the things I bought last month and do like mini reviews, how I'm feeling about them, I'd like to circle back to the mascara. Whenever I did my check-in last month, I had just gotten this, so I didn't really have time to play with it. But let me share with you some of my findings. I like this mascara. I don't know that everyone would like this mascara. I do feel like the look is particular. I thought I saw a spider. It's interesting because it does seem to apply differently, like depending on the day, and that's probably my error, but like sometimes I feel like it gets really clumpy, and then other days it's like the perfect mascara. It is a tubing mascara. It's the, if I didn't say it, it's the Tarte Tartelette tubing mascara. Also, I'm so sorry that I'm like sweating in this video, but it's like 80 degrees today. It's November, and it has been chilly up until now, but it's like really hot today, and I normally don't mind putting my fan on, but it's November. Look at this. Look at all that forehead. What I have found about this, it is liquidy. And I don't know if that's like common for tubing mascaras, but I think I typically like a drier formula or a formula that dries over time. I've had this open for a month now, and it seems to be behaving just the way it did at the beginning of the month, and I like it. But what I find is it makes my lashes so long that whenever I'm applying mascara, 9 times out of 10, I get black dots. That's like not the biggest deal, but it happens every time. Other mascaras that happens, but not like almost every time. This time it like happens almost every time I use this mascara. But once it's on and once I flick those off, it's a beautiful mascara. It wears really well throughout the day. It has all of the properties you want from a tubing mascara in it. So I think this was a really nice foray for me to try a tubing mascara because I'd never tried one before. If you count Lash Slick from Glossier, then I have, but I didn't know that at the time. So this is my first time knowingly trying a tubing mascara. But yeah, I really have been enjoying it. I would buy it again. It's not what I want to buy again. I do want to go back to Lash Clash next month. That's like what I would like, not next month, but in January, because I cycle my mascaras every 3 months. I'm gonna definitely enjoy it while I have it. It's an interesting formula, and I like the way it makes my lashes look, so everything about it's really, really good. But I think I prefer the Lash Clash. But I haven't used it since July, whenever I got the Zamea Rubber Lash. So it's been a minute since I've used the Lash Clash, but I remember really, really liking it. So I'm looking forward to going back to that. Using this is not the bane of my existence. Like I don't feel like the need to correct this purchase or correct this. So the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara I think is good. Do you need to run out and buy it today? No. But I would also never say that to you. So I guess take my mid recommendation with a grain of salt. The first thing I bought was the Kjaer Weis blush and inner glow. Now, if you are new to the world of Kjaer Weis, is it Kjaer? I'm saying it the way I see hear other people say it, because it's like, I don't know what the origin of this name might be, but I bought it in this luxury packaging. Ooh my, and there is the blush. I could have saved a lot of money by opting for a cardboard package, or you can just buy the pan. There is a hole in the back here, but you kind of buy them separately. And I did think about it, guys. I did think about not including the package in, like the packaging into my budget, but I felt like that was a stretch. When I buy magnetic palettes for singles, I don't include that in my budget, but I really thought about it, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense, because if it came in this compact, which I think it at one point did, like exclusively come in it was still refillable, like, but it was like this or the refill pan, and like, there's clearly a place for a sticker, and I'm assuming that's where they used to put the shade names instead of like on the back of the product, because I think I remember watching old videos of Hannah Louise Poston saying that like none of hers were marked right and the pans inside were a different shade. If you're not new here, then you already know this, but I'd been on the hunt for a blush, a very specific tone of blush. My subscribers recommended this shade to me, this inner glow shade, and it has worked out beautifully. Like, I'm done hunting. Is it like exactly what I was asking for? No, but it is like pretty damn close. I have been hesitant to buy Kjaer Weis. Kjaer Weis is a clean brand. I don't subscribe to clean beauty, but it's okay if you do. I don't discriminate towards clean beauty brands, but my hesitancy is always, I'm probably not going to use that as much as I want. And I know that I have heard people have these turn on them. I know all products essentially turn, right? With clean formulas, I'm like, when it says 6 months, I'm like, I bet that's only gonna be 6 months. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not gonna be something that I can elongate the time of use, like powder products or whatever. I know that the beauty community at large is like freaking out because Tarte got a sty. And that seems to be the only reason that people are like now paying attention to expiration dates. Okay, but like, you've been doing this for 8 years and now you're concerned. Sorry, I'm getting a little sassy. Like, I have makeup that's older than the open date. Like, I know that I have makeup that's older than that. But like, I mean, I am pretty careful around like, specifically like eyeliner and mascara, because it's like kind of going in my eye sometime. But like, I'm not really concerned about my powder products, but everyone take whatever precautions you want to, and whatever motivated you to take those precautions, I'm happy for you. So my biggest concern is that I won't use this, but as you can see, me and this product have been getting along swimmingly. I feel like I've used it almost every time I've done my makeup. I have been forcing myself to use other blushes, and I did buy some makeup tools this month, but if you're new here, I don't count makeup brushes towards it. And I bought brushes for a specific reason, and that's the only reason I bought them, and I wasn't sure which shape would work the best, and I was like, but I wouldn't, oh well, I'll use the other ones. So maybe we'll talk about those at another time. I've been loving this. It's really nice. It does set, it doesn't stay tacky. Something that I kind of failed to do as a reviewer when I am reviewing cream products like this. Setting is not a big issue for me. My hair is short, so my hair is not getting caught in that ever, unless I would take it up here, but even then my hair kind of just does that, like it just kind of sticks to my forehead. So it's like not something that I'm paying a lot of attention to. But my friend and fellow YouTuber Elle was like asking me questions, and I was like, let me pay attention. So yeah, it does set down. It leaves a beautiful glow on the skin. It has like this beautiful silver sheen. It's like really, really stunning. I couldn't be more pleased with this purchase. Like, everything about it, this heavy packaging, the product inside performs really, really well. Everything about it is an absolute win to me. Thank you all for recommending this to me, because I'm not sure I would have tried Kjaer Weis otherwise. Like, I think I would have just kept my distance, because sometimes clean beauty brands make me feel some kind of way. Not all of them, but sometimes some of them do, because right around the time I bought this, either right before or right after, they like did a thing with like Kardashian, like one of the Kardashians, like Poosh company, which is like their version of Goop. So I felt like a little bit weird about that, but I'm sure there are beauty brands that I use that Goop has partnered with, and I just don't know about it because I don't pay attention to Goop. But anyway, I was just on the mailing list. I forgot to mention that this was a sale that they ran. It was 25% off. And I'm wondering, I feel like potentially if I bought it at full price, I would spring for the cardboard, because it is like, the jump is significant from this packaging to the lesser packaging. I think the blush itself is $32, and a pan of blush, just a pan, that is kind of pricey, but I think this would have retailed for $50 some, and I bought it for $42. The Charlotte Tilbury Smoky Quartz Hypnotizing Pop Shot. Here's what it looks like. I'm gonna refer to you if you want to see something like really detailed and me duping things out, I did an eye for an eye. That's a series on my channel where when I buy something new, mostly I focus on eyeshadows. I try to dupe out the eyeshadow palette with my collection because I don't have the most robust singles collection, but I have enough singles where I feel like I can almost dupe anything out. So that video is all about duping this out, and I leave a little bit more of a detailed review in there, but I will share here just briefly what I think. You're either gonna love it or you're just gonna feel like it was a waste of $34. So I need you to know that going into it. If you really love sparkly, bedazzling, chunky eyeshadows, not chunky, it's not chunky, it doesn't go on chunky, but it has like really big glitter particles in it, and you are comfortable using a glitter primer, then I think you'll love this, because that's what I do. It's such a beautiful one and done, and it's so good for the evening. It's the easiest smoky eye for the evening that I have ever been able to do. Just like I tap it out here and then I just blend it in, and then the sparkle follows my finger, and it's just like so easy. I apply it that way in that video that I mentioned earlier. I also say this, it does not have the best longevity even with a glitter primer, but I find that without a glitter primer it's like no go. Like it's a no go. I put it on my bare lid, which I don't normally do, but I got it in the mail and I like couldn't wait to get it put on, and I was like in the middle of my work day and I was just like went to the bathroom and just like smeared it on my eyes, and then by the end of my work shift it was all down here. For $34 I would fully understand why some of you would be like, it needs to do it all. I get it. But for me, even though I was able to like pretty much successfully dupe it out with like a very similar vibe, just this has been worth it to me. I maybe bought a second one with my November budget. But I'm done after that. I'm done with that. I made sure. The only other one I wanted was the blue one. The blue one! I know. Me buying the blue one. Oh, I wanted to talk about the price of this. So I am a licensed esthetician. I don't talk about that a lot on my channel because I don't want people asking me a lot about skincare. It's not that I don't feel confident talking about skincare. If I'm an esthetician, I'm not your esthetician. And just because I am an esthetician doesn't mean I do all of the things that you might think that I would do with my skin. Now I do take care of my skin, and I do take pride in having nice skin. That's why you don't talk about skincare a lot, because it's just so personal. What works for me might not work for you. All of that to say, by the way, Charlotte Tilbury has a pro program, and so I applied for it. Sometimes it's a little sketchy on whether or not like licensed estheticians can get these makeup discounts. I was approved for it, so I got 30% off on this. I ended up paying with tax $25.74 instead of the $34. And I will just kind of like a little bit of a spoiler. I had a gift card to Beautylish to buy the second one, so I didn't pay full price for that one either. And that leads me to wonder if I did have to pay $34 for it, would I? And considering I didn't for either one, I don't know. That's something to consider when you hear me talk about it, by the way. Sometimes like I'm not sure if I would spend $34 on it. And I think that's kind of just like the truth. But I did spend $25 on it. The situation with this product is similar to what happened with the Tarte mascara, is that I bought this at the tail end of the month because my eyeshadow primer just kind of like stopped. It was like dried out. It like just wasn't working as well. And I wanted a new one. I stopped into Sephora. I used to work sort of with these people. It wasn't the Sephora that I used to work at, but I know these people from having worked at Sephora. And I was like, I need a new eyeshadow primer. I ran over to the NARS. Because that's what many of you said, try the NARS one. NARS one's always sold out. I literally have on Sephora.com to notify me when the next one comes in. And the only reason I buy some things through Sephora is sometimes through work I get gift cards, and like it's like, it's just like a better way for me to buy things. Not that it's my be all end all shopping destination. In fact, I've been buying some more stuff from Ulta, but I also buy from brand websites quite a bit. I have no idea if I like this. I've used it a handful of times. All I can say is it's much more wet than the last one. And I don't know if it's just because more product ends up being on the doe foot applicator or than the old one that I was using, or what. I haven't really given it the runaround to really know. So I really can't report back. I have used it a handful of times, but every time I've used it, it's been for very short periods of time. I did use it today, and I've been sweating in this makeup, and so the eyes still look good. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. It's fine. Started with $85, so $42 for the Kjaer Weis, $25.47 for the Charlotte Tilbury, and for the Too Faced it was $27.82. So I ended up being negative $9.81. Here's the thing. Let me tell you this. I had a gift card and I had like point rewards and stuff. It was either I could use those for the Too Faced, but tomorrow, the day that you're watching this video, I think the Natasha Denona, the Retro Glam palette goes live, and I'm interested in it, but I also feel like a lot of you are interested in it, so I think it's a worthwhile investment for my channel and me because I'm curious about it, and I have like a lot of feelings about that. I'm not even going to use the sale code when I buy it tomorrow, but I think the sale is still live tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do actually is I have credit card point rewards, and I also have point rewards. It's just gonna save me a lot of money, and I didn't want to miss out on buying the Natasha Denona, so I was willing to take the L. Also, I even tried to pull up all of that stuff, and my phone was not letting me. There was like no service on the Sephora, and I was like, well, here's what we're doing. So let me reflect on feelings. I'm disappointed that 2 months in a row I have gone negative, but I also will say it wasn't like frivolous purchases. I needed to re-up on mascara when I bought this. This is what sent me negative last month. I was out of eyeshadow primer. I needed to re-up on it. That's why I ended up with this. I could have waited like 2 days. You know, I could have waited 2 days to buy this, but I was at the mall and I was like, I should just do this while I'm here. And I wanted to ask, not that I don't trust you all, but the Sephora employee like told me that this is the one that he likes. And so I was like, well, I'll give it a go. So the budget is budgeting. The budget is doing its thing. It's doing whatever it wants to do. My goal is to not go in the red this month. I already have some things on the way. Mario, I bought the Mario palette. So we'll see. I bought it on his website, again, pro discount. It is taking much longer to get to me than anyone else seems to be to getting there. So maybe I won't pop off with views on that one, but if you're interested in hearing my opinion on it, keep your eyes peeled for some Makeup by Mario palette content. And then obviously the Retro Glam palette, you'll start seeing content around that as soon as I get it. So that might take some time to get to me if it's an online only at Sephora. And I only say that because I did buy some like skincare and hair care stuff with the Sephora sale, no makeup. So that hasn't shipped yet, which is fine. I know that having worked at Sephora, I know that like this is like what happens whenever the sale's going on. That's that. If you are new here and you are interested in following the budget journey, if you're on a no buy, a low buy, or if you're just looking for someone who thinks a little bit more critically about makeup, I would love to have you subscribe. My community here is very, very lovely. They give great recommendations, and they're also very supportive of anyone who is budgeting, doing all of the things that we do here. So again, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video before you leave it. And I am also on patreon.com if you'd like to support me there. Thank you, patrons. Remember to follow your hote, and you will find me. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Oh, that was good. That wasn't good. Why can't I hit this low note? It's okay. I'm leaving.